没有。我们现在就是因为还在就是讲说，因为我们是用青年团嘛，我们用大德佛学院青年团嘛。
Hi, good day, everybody. So nice talking to you all, and hope that I can share this light and these topics with everybody, especially with IC's members and participants. So let's start with the talk today. So this is a topics on sexual education for special needs teens or young adults, and we learned that how to educate them. So I'm Alex Ng, a clinical psychologist from San David Medical Center. So let's start slowly, and I will try to explain how we're going to teach those special needs children with young adult, and then slowly let them understand that how important is sexual educations in this area. So very important things is we know that these categories are special people. So as an educator of as a guiders or as teachers, very important. First of all, we need to understand the individual conditions and their needs. This is something very important. So that's one. Second is we need to understand the individual level and the functions of intellectual level, so that at least we know that what words, what vocabs that we can talk to them. So slowly, this is how we can communicate or we can bridge our interactive with them and understand the individual competence, how well they are, how good they are, in order to understand the topics that we want to talk with them. So these are the few preparations that we need to know, and very important is how you're going to uh, bridge the communication interactive with those people. So first of all, for these teens, we know that sometimes physically they reach the level of teens, but the things is whether their intellectual level or their functions, uh, I mean the cognitive function, is it reached that? So that's why we do the pre-chat, pre-preparations with these kids. Then with the topics that we want to talk now, very importantly, is how as an individual we want them to grow happily. So telling them at this stage, very important things that they need to understand all the stage of developmental tasks in their life. Although they are special, but I still believe that they are part of the humans and family members, individuals that live in this world. So that very important. They have to understand the stages one by one, accordingly from physiologists, psychologists, and also mentally at this moment of time. And we also explain to them the structures of functions, reproductive organs. We make it very simple. So that's how very important that we want to transfer those ideas to them. And yep, we can use pictures, we can use chart, or even if you are the teachers, you got those models, you can use that models that make them understand things better so that they won't feel weird or shy when come across this sort of so-called anatomy. So that's what very important things that we want them to understand. That learning to care and how why need to manage for the youth to grow. So at least they won't get shocked, they won't get so-called uncomfortable. Talking about this, I got those experience that many of them actually don't feel good when there is the stages of change, especially when a child turn into adolescent stage. So these are the basic things that I always highlight to them so that to prepare them, mentally prepare them, physically prepare them. Yep. So for this, the purpose is we want them to understand the cause of life development, establish a healthy attitude so that they won't feel anxious, they won't feel shy, or they don't feel not good at all. And then able to recognize the puberties and the development and the functions of reproductive organs. Very important so that at least they know what to expect and then what to do. So mostly, especially when we talk about autism kids, they will feel a lot of anxious or they don't feel good, especially when come to this stage because they feel a bit weird, they feel odd when there is a changes, and then they hope that they're back to normal again. So that will take some period of time, some stages that they have to do go for that kind of transitions. So this is what happened to them. And then the other part actually is we're able to let them learn about the common physiological problems for of adolescents and also healthy method to do some care for them themselves, especially when we talk about hygiene. When it comes to the puberty, what types of hygiene types, method that they can do, they can use. So these are the things that as a teachers, as a guidance, as a parents, as a adult, that we hold our ethics, so we need to teach them. So learn to seek a right sexual education resources and help. That is the main idea why we want to teach them this topic. Although at this moment in any kind of education, especially when, for me, I would say that for Malaysians, this part we still need to do a lot because especially for special need children, we even need to do more. Yeah. So these are the things that we can show. I give you some of the examples, some of the pictures that I can show to those kids or adolescents. This is how they're going to expect or whether this happens or not. I would love to give them a few choice. So at least because we know that every individuals are unique, they are not the same. So at least these are some examples that let them say. So at least they can expect. So they won't feel uh, no good at all in terms of the thinking. Yep. So as a happy youth and a young adult, the developmental of a psychology in puberty is something so very important. So I want them to feel happy. They are healthy, positive youth. It's very important for them to understand what's happening there. And then they learn how to respect each other's, respect the acceptance of the diversity. So although they view others people and how they view themselves. So with this, very important is start with individual. Then after that is how they're going to so-called like mix with people surrounding. So at least they learn how to respect people. And then they can build a good relationship with others people. So good friendship when they foresee all those things. That so they won't so-called like look down by others people or they don't look down others people by themselves. So this is other things that another important things that we need to bring them into a healthy mental and healthy psychology at this moment of time. So for this whole idea, the objective, the purpose that why we do this, because we want them to have the adaptations to psychological changes in the puberty. So at least they be prepared. They won't get worried. They won't get so-called sad. Sometimes I do come across this adolescent, this group of people. They feel sad when there is a changes, and I don't want them to also don't want to them to feel anxious when come to this side of condition. So this is basically what happened here, and then to respect and accept the diversities of in genders and also the trait. So that part, this part also very important, so that at least they learn how to respect others people when people come into some emotional changes or physiology changes. So at least they know how to help themselves, hold themselves, and then they respect and they even give support to others people. So this is to cultivate and moderate attitude and build good relationship and not for self-centered. Yep. So in here, I would like them to learn from the basic. This pictures, a lot of people say that maybe it's a bit childish, but the thing is, with their intellectual, with their mentality, normally I will start with something simple with them. So at least I will direct them why they need to wear hat, and then because to cover their hair and cover their head. So what with this cover, what they will gain, what are the things that they feel good, especially, and the other pictures is why they need to wear sunglasses. So wearing sunglasses actually to protect their eyes. So that kind of pictures, this kind of attitude, this kind of education, slowly I'll lead them why they need to wear bra, why they need to wear underwear kind of activity. So these are the some of the example pictures. Teachers guidance can use it in order to teach this our adolescents. Yeah. And then with the topics of happy family, very important thing is I want them to feel good when there's a discharge, because this is why very important. And in the special need children's categories, we do help them a lot when they are young, because what as a parents, as a adult, we do feel that maybe their capabilities, their abilities, and also their level, functional level, actually is below the peers, uh, those normal, compared with those normal norms, normal categories. So we tend to help them a lot. What if when they come to this adolescent stage, maybe some of the parents, some of the adult will start to slowly detach them. So when we detach, we giving less help and support, then they might feel something is not good. So with this topic, normally I would like them to understand that why this type of detach or this type of less support actually helping them for them themselves to grow, to be more independent. So these are the things that very important. And also I will let them, let the parents, let the adult understand that how slowly they can let go their hands in order to let the child, let this adolescent slowly grow into young adult later on. And then to deal with the family, actually there is a lot of communication skills, communications way that we need to do, so that at least we can minimize those conflict effectively. So it's also very important to educate those adults. Talking about this, because this is also one of my experience, I do see that some of the parents, when they slowly let go, they don't feel good, and then there is a conflict between the child and the adult or the parents relationship. So this one of the topic that why it's so important that we need to educate them. And then seeking appropriate self-protection and sexual help resources and help, very important. So with this kind of topic, we need to support them with all the materials, because in Malaysia, we know that some of the parents, they do find quite difficult to establish or to get those materials of hands to teach the kids. So that is also one of the uh, resources that as a resource provider we can provide them. So the purpose of this whole families matter is we want them to experience the meanings of family and recognize the quality of good family relationship, and able to learn to rationalize situation and face the family conflict. So at least they know how to handle when there's a conflict with a teens or with this young adult, and able to enhance communications and emotion between the family members, so to promote good family relationship. Yeah. And come to this topic, the power to say no. So because that is a growth and that is a curiosity, and I believe that teens need to learn how to say no. So power to say no, situation to say no, and how to say no. So in this, they learn, very important, to set up what means to refuse slogans. What are the things that they have to react? Why, when they come across what type of situation, they need to respond. So that also very important. Able to defend the individual power and protect their own security. So at least when they come across some unfair or some disturbs or harass moment, so they know what to do. So establish the autonomy of preventions. So for example, these are our pictures. So we might do a lot of simulations. So when we post these are our pictures to them, so we need to let them know that they have to say no. This is something not right. People cannot touch me because it's my own body. So and even who they are, even family members, we also need to slowly teach them how to respond, because we don't want parents to feel hurt, because sometimes what is the people intention, nobody knows that. So that part we need to educate the kids. So if let's say this adult is outsider, they even need to do more, in the sense that to establish the security of self, and then to say no, and when say no, what they need to do the next, because those people are specials, and also the functions and the abilities level are a little bit below compared with the peers, the normal peers. So that's why we need to do more. And this type of sessions, we need to do a lot of rehearsal, because to let them understand, to let them know, and then and we slowly need to sort of like desensitize that kind of stigmatization. If not, then they'll feel hurt, they'll feel bad. So for psychologists, especially I'm a psychologist, so I do feel that it's quite difficult to deal with them after or when they come across this type of a bad experience. So also with these stages, kids also, although they are mentally or functionally they are a bit below, but the thing is emotionally they are okay. So some of them, they will feel that they need to understand the stages of developmental and principle of gender communication. So because some of them will start to turn the feelings like they love, they like the other opposites genders. So this is what happened, and then we have to tell them that why these sort of things happen. We have to let them know that it's a very normal norms in our growth and their developmental, especially when we talk about physical response. And then slowly let them know what the meaning of likes, love, and obsession. So at least they can differentiate it. So they won't be so enthusiastic, also collect to just be very impulsively in this area. So that will also help them to build their attitude of self-confidence, self-esteem, and also value. And we also wanted to learn about the effect of premarital sex, why this is so important, because if they, from adolescents, turn into young adult, so this part also they need to learn and refuse those premarital sex activities as well, so that at least we want to create a healthy society uh, in future. So at least we don't want them to feel hurt so much that then the purpose of this topic, very important, or these areas is we can so-called distinguish like, love, and also obsessions or and other feelings. So at least they won't get confused, because sometimes uh, where I come across a lot of these type of kids, they can't differentiate what means like, what means love. So then they might have some confusions in this area. And then learn, able to understand the developmental process of gender socializations, and to develop a respectful attitude towards gender communication and socialization. So at least when they socialize with other people, they won't feel bad, they won't feel not good. And then to learn the rational way and face the negative emotion situation, because sometimes with this age, with this stage, sometimes there is some separation, because some of the people, some of the individual need to transfer from one area to another area, so they miss somebody, that means that kind of relationship and socialization. So that at least we need to teach them slowly why this thing happen, and it's a normal norms when we come to the adulthood. All right. And then with this stage or maybe later stage of adolescence as well, so because they also learn from online, they also go for internet. So these are the things that I will foresee is also the importance, is one of the big topics that we need to educate them. So at least, because right now I believe that everybody in the society, although that maybe you watch some of the movie, or you go into some of the website, you might see some of the advertisements with this type of activities come into the picture. So that's why we need to let them understand that it's so important that if this thing happens in during while you are doing some computer works or some internet or some websites. So what happened? How are you going to react? So internet dating and the security also very important. So we need to educate them. We need to tell them why it's so important, and then rejects the porn media so that at least those are the things that doesn't affect them in terms of their mentality, their in terms of their understanding. The connectively. So the purpose here is to discuss the security and the principle of online or dating. So at least they understand. So they won't get jumps. Why some of the parents don't want to let them see or watch some of the this are episode, this are of a movie, this are website. So at least they understand. So they will be prepared to identify and also analyze pornography messages influence in the media, so that at least we have to sort of like give them some of the big terms, so at least they know this is no good, so at least they can straight away close it. I would say that when talking about this, compared with the normal in the in adolescence, for special need children, I do feel that it's slightly easier to teach them because they are quite acceptance if they are not being sort of like damaged before. So things will become quite easy. But for our normal young adolescents, actually they are a bit, yeah, a bit curious. So they might try and error a lot of things. So that's why these categories and those normal norms categories are slightly different. Then safety nets, in total, we need to let them know what is called respect for physical autonomy. So at least they know how to protect themselves. They need to know that what to do when there is something bad happens, some bad situation, but some bad behavior or actions ongoing or taking part. So sexual harassment and sexual assault prevention is also very important. So in this purpose, here is positive method of preventions and the strategies to deal with the sexual assault and sexual harassment. So this part I need uh, a lot of teachers or educator or maybe parents need to take in charge. So at least they know how to guide them well. So in this purpose, that's why these few topics are so important in order to grow them. And this is one of the preventions that we need to do a lot. Recognize the youth and the young adults sex-related legalizations. So the legalizing in terms of what are the things that they need to understand to protect themselves, so they know what is their rights too. So facing problems of sexual harm, learn to seek appropriate assistance and help from officials, pipelines, and also resources. So these are the few things that we need to let them know better, because a lot of times if they do it themselves, I slightly worried that there is not helping hand. So if they can get a good helping hand in between to accompany them, to support them, that will give additional things for these categories to say it out, to voice it out, and to protect their rights. So this is very important. Defense yourself and respect the physical autonomy of others as well, so that then they know that when they come across these sort of things, but from others people, then they dare to stand out, to voice out, to say it out. So at least it's also protect themselves, to let them know that this is no things. This is one of the things that they need to protect their rights as well. All right. So hopefully with this, you're able to share and it helps everybody. And I hope uh, with this presentation, with this those slides that I share with everybody, hopes that you're able to benefit you all, especially when it comes to the practice, when it comes to the areas of education that you all have. So thank you very much. Hope to see you again. Thank you.